Okay, so welcome to the Rose Quartz Hypnosis Podcast. Today, I want to touch on jealousy and the causes of jealousy and how we can deal with jealousy. So, first, the first question I want to ask is, or I want to answer is, what is jealousy? Anyway, and I think it'll be better for me to read off a official definition of jealousy. So jealousy, of course, jealousy is a state of being jealous. But what is jealous? So jealous is a feeling or a showing of envy of someone or their achievements, accomplishments, and advantages. One important thing on why people are jealous, you got to understand that energy is important. Energy is here, whether you believe it or not. Energy is here. Um, when someone walks in a room that you don't like, or you have a problem with them, you always say you're not feeling it, or you'll say, I'm not feeling it, or you can feel that person's energy, or you just feel the energy that you feel on the inside from just that person being around. And that means energy. Energy is real. Energy is coming from you, energy is coming from that person, energy is coming from everybody. We're all connected in that way, through energy. So there's high vibration, there's low vibration. So when your vibration is particularly higher vibration usually is, you have confidence, you believe in yourself. Love is the highest vibration. You love yourself. You have self-love. You've dealt with so many things and you've healed through those things. You didn't let them kick you down. You didn't let them keep you down. And so your vibration is high. For anyone who doesn't believe in themselves, they haven't healed. They are carrying around all this emotion and all this trauma and all of this turmoil and all of this, nobody likes me, nobody wants to be with me, and I'm this and I'm that, and, just no belief and no faith. The vibration is going to be lower. So, to think of a good example, do you have a good example of well, I guess you could say two magnets that don't match. They're not going to come together on two opposite sides. The vibration is different. So they're going to separate. They're not going to come together. And that energy is bothering the other energy, so it's pushing it away. So when your vibration is higher, of course it's going to affect or bother a lower vibration, because the lower vibration doesn't understand that. And energy is alive. So energy, when your vibration is lower, you allow low vibrational energies to work through you. So that being said, those energies that are working through you is very bothered by this high vibration because it can't survive in high vibration. So that energy is bothering them on the inside. So they have to find a way to push you away. And it's not because they don't love you. It's because something in them is telling them that you need to go away, because your energy is stirring up their energy and they don't understand it. And so that's where that comes from. Did you have anything you wanted to say or ask about that? By the way, I have a guest here. His name is Nick, and
Yeah.
he's come to help me discuss, this particular topic. And he may be here for, the a few episodes or maybe all episodes. I invite you to come to all of them. But I like to make this podcast a discussion. I don't want to talk the whole time, so I would like to hear from you and see what you would like to say about that.
Yeah, it's definitely an honor to be on the Rose Quartz podcast. I definitely appreciate you for doing this and discussing complex topics. It's very cool to be here because this is what I genuinely love to do with my time and energy. I would say keeping close to your metaphor about the magnets, that did prompt a vision of, a piece of metal in the center, and you have two magnets trying to attract the same piece of metal. And it shows that yearning for the same object, the effort that it takes to pull that object towards you, and jealousy, I think oftentimes can have a negative connotation if looked at on a surface level. But when you dive deeper into the yearning, perhaps like insecurities, a desire to protect what you claim to be yours. And it really can be spun with a lens of love, because it's tough to feel jealousy if love is absent from the equation. And I think that sometimes is overlooked.
Exactly. And it's almost like they don't even, they're not going to be able to recognize what they're doing because they feel like it's right. They feel like what they're doing is the right thing to do. Even if they don't know it's jealousy, jealousy is not going to know it's jealousy. Sometimes it may be purposeful. Purposeful jealousy is, when it's done purposely, they don't have the love there. So it's easier for them to just negatively come at you. But for people who, they have some kind of love for you, it's out of their control because your vibration is getting higher. So they feel like you're changing because when you do raise your vibration, you do become a whole different person. So so I guess you did change. But at the same time, your vibration will get a little lower if you stay around that vibration that is lower than yours. And it's gonna ruffle your feathers a little much, and you'll start feeling like you're going backwards, and like then you'll block the people that you're supposed to meet because nothing is a mistake. Nothing is a mistake. We met these people for a lesson in a season to learn something, and once that lesson has been learned, the universe is going to grab you and take you in different directions that they are not able to go into because the vibration needs to be higher for you to go to these different locations or different energies. For example, wealthy people, their vibration is higher. Wealthy. Not all, but because some people can be born into wealth. But for those who, they were born in poverty, most of the time their vibration is a little higher. Not even if their vibration isn't high, the mindset is at least attracting money. And so it's bringing them that way. Some people are born with a lesson for them to be wealthy so that they can learn a lesson of wealth. And some are born in poverty to learn a lesson of poverty. But it's up to you to be able to change the mindset and to be able to focus on positivity and attract positive things. So, another question I have is, who can fix the jealousy? Can you fix it? I mean, you can't fix anybody else's jealousy. You only can fix your own jealousy. So that being said, if you notice the jealousy in you and you would like to change it, there's nothing wrong with admitting that to yourself and just focusing more on self-love, focusing more on loving yourself, because there's something in that person that you want to see in yourself that bothers you so much. Something that you want to see in them that makes you feel uncomfortable because it's unfamiliar to you. So, if you would like to change it, instead of feeling jealous, how about you change it to being inspired? But it's hard to do that without doing the work first. So, there's different things out here for you to focus on and to start to exercise self-love, like, taking care of yourself, going to events, listening to motivational speakers, reading books. Books is the best route. Reading books, learning about these different things, learning about law of attraction, learning about self-love. There's so many books out there, self-help books. I think self-help is even a genre now for books. Even if you don't like to sit and read, there's audiobooks out here that you can listen to. A really good one is The Dark Side of the Light Chasers by Debbie Ford. That's a good book to get you. It's shadow work for beginners. It talks about the beginning work of shadow work. And it has like exercises in there, meditation exercises and things like that. The Secret is another good book. What is it called? I think it's called The Magic is a good book. It teaches you gratitude. And gratitude is another good energy to have. Gratitude also has love in it as well. I have a book that is part of the book The Magic by Rhonda Byrne. She's also the author of The Secret. And this book is called The Secret Gratitude Book. And you pretty much write what you're grateful for in this book every day. Or, when you can, you write in this book, you journal in this book. And it helps you bring more things to be grateful for into your life. So yeah, that's another good book. Meditation. There's so many guided meditations on YouTube. If you're into tarot and everything, there's a lot of pick-a-card readings on YouTube where you can go and look for like a topic for the pick-a-card reading, and you pick one of the cards, and it's like 3 or 4 piles. You pick one of the piles, and pretty much you get a reading collectively. Like I said, energy is important. So your energy will be drawn to a pile that, that is meant for you. Also, whether, you feel it or you believe it, we have a spiritual team. We come here with a spiritual team to guide us into the right direction. So if you ever feel lost, don't be afraid to ask your angels or your spiritual team for help. And I can actually say that because this is a spiritual podcast. And one last thing I want to make important before I end this podcast is I am also a certified hypnotherapist. I help people with building confidence and, trauma recovery and accepting themselves and procrastination and focus, past life regression, a lot of different things. So I am offering free pro bono sessions right now until about the middle of the year. So I would say maybe June. I am offering these free sessions for smoking cessation and so on and so on. So going to a hypnotherapist doesn't even have to be me, but I would like you to contact me if you would like to take advantage of the pro bonos that I'm doing right now. But anyway, if you want to know what hypnosis is and everything, I would suggest you to check out the first episode, which will also be available, and that talks about what hypnosis is, and then I do a little hypnosis in there. So yeah, check that out. And there was something else I wanted to say. Oh, the importance of self-love. Yeah, we talked about that. So just like RuPaul say, if you don't love yourself, how the hell you gonna love somebody else? Okay? So that energy of you not loving yourself, you're just giving it to everybody else. You're trying to love, but even just loving is making you uncomfortable. Because everything, no matter what they say to you, it's gonna be a deflect. Like you're not gonna accept it. You're not gonna accept the love because you're not accepting the love that you're trying to give yourself. Because your higher self, and that's the soul self, the self that you came here with. Because we are a soul in a body. And that soul is trying to love you, but the body is holding on to so much learned behaviors, so much trauma that it's rejecting that love. And so you can kind of get lost in that. So I would say try some hypnotherapy and try to change those habits and try to get that emotion out of the body and connect with the soul. One crystal that I would like to recommend for self-love is rose quartz. So when I was getting used to self-love and I was getting acquainted with myself and getting to know myself and healing through all of my things and learning my lessons and everything, I kept rose quartz with me. And rose quartz is about self-love, love in general, love in general, universal love, positivity, and it's a really good stone. It's beautiful. It's pink. So when you're looking for it, it's a light little pink color. And you can get a necklace, or you can get like a wand, or you can get, just one of the little palm crystals that you can hold in your hand. But yeah, rose quartz is a good one. Pink tourmaline is another good one for self-love and the universal love and healing connections. And so yeah. And did you have anything to say about that, Nick?
Yeah, I think you made a lot of good points. I'm glad that you did mention gratitude. I would say that's probably one of the best tools that you can keep within your kit to counteract feelings of jealousy, as well as doing self-scans, acknowledgement affirmations.
Absolutely.
Once you identify that the feeling is jealousy, you can begin to work on where that stems from. Oftentimes, it can be from a sense of self-doubt. So, like, this person has all of these things, and I'm doubting myself that this is something I could achieve. Once you, I guess, acknowledge that part, it's like, well, what is this person doing? There's a formula, You also brought up showing up and doing the work. that's a huge part of self progression, goal accomplishment, vision manifestation. It's one thing to see someone's accomplishments, but you don't see the work that goes into it behind the scenes. So when people acknowledge that aspect of it, I think that can help quell some feelings of jealousy, because it's not impossible. It's just work. It's consistency, and everyone is capable to achieve, like you said, a higher frequency of who they are. I think it's also important to acknowledge everyone's journey is going to look differently. And when you acknowledge that for yourself as well,
Yeah.
you see the progress in yourself. Sometimes the external validation needs to be clicked, because you notice like the habits that you're changing. Even if it's starting with your mindset, like, okay, I usually don't think this way, and maybe I didn't do too much today, but I made my goal list today. I know next week at this time I'm going to incorporate. You also mentioned like reading, new habits. So I think you definitely made some really powerful statements on ways to counteract jealousy, for sure.
Yes, and most definitely, I want to tell the recipient of the jealousy how to deal with that before we close off. And pretty much, like you said, everybody is on their own journey. Everybody have their own story to tell. Everyone has their own lessons to learn. So how about compassion? Just, you have to set boundaries with this person. If you have to, like we say, cut that person off, then at least have compassion for them, that, just have hope that, one day they can also find healing, like you've done, and that they can learn from their lessons, and they can come off strong and more vibrant enough to share their story with other people that's going through the things that they're going through. Because you're never alone in going through what you're going through. There's somebody out here going through the same thing as you. There's a twin out there for you. Okay, twin? So don't think you alone. Somebody out there is going through the same exact thing. Just in a different context, or a different area, location, or timing. And they may have just have different resources than you do. So you never know. You could change that person's life just by sharing your story. And just have compassion. You can move on and love from afar. You don't have to stop loving that person, but just have the compassion enough for yourself too, to set that boundary and not let that person control you. And have the love for yourself to move forward, and still have compassion for that person who is jealous of you. Now I'm talking about. And that is the end of the podcast for episode 2 for jealousy. And I'll see y'all again, or hear me again for the next podcast.